Well, hi. Today is Monday, March 2nd, 2026. I'm Todd Studer, and this is Morning Coffee. Bryce Taylor from GLI Insurance Group is back as we are on to another restaurant highlight. This time, Legends Cafe in Council Bluffs. Bryce and I stopped out there last Friday for breakfast, and we actually had to pivot a little bit on what our plans were because, well, we need a certain distance to be able to set the camera up and so it can still see us. And the booth table was not quite long enough to be able to do that. And they were just completely jam-packed with people enjoying a wonderful breakfast on Friday. So what we did is we got it to go and brought it back to the studios and enjoy Legends Cafe breakfast here at the studios on Willow. So Bryce Taylor from GLI Insurance Group and a restaurant highlight from Legends coming up today on Morning Coffee. If you have not experienced the Council Bluffs PRCA Rodeo at the Mid-America Center, here's the thing. Get March 20th and 21st on your calendar because the excitement is coming. Doors open at 6:30. Everything starts at 7:30, and then once it does start, it is nonstop action. This is a PRCA sanctioned competition. What does that mean? It means you're seeing legitimate, high-level rodeo athletes right here in Council Bluffs. There's bareback riding, bull riding, team roping, the whole deal, and even the stellar trick riding cowgirls will be performing both nights. Friday night on the 20th, this is the time to take the family because it's kids' night. Children under 12 get in free with a paid general admission adult, and it makes for a great family night. Tickets start at just $20, so grab yours at councilbluffsprcarodeo.com, and let's pack that Mid-America Center. Good mornings start with peace of mind, and at Miners Healthcare, they provide professional in-home support where it matters most, helping individuals maintain comfort, dignity, and independence in their daily lives. Their experienced nursing team focuses on personalized care, clear communication, and supporting families through every step of the process. This is healthcare built on trust, compassion, and real relationships. Learn more at minershealthcare.com. Bryce Taylor with GLI Insurance Group, and this is our monthly restaurant highlight. Only we came into the studio for, I think, Bryce, for a good reason is why we had to do this.
Yeah, I showed up we were supposed to meet we met at 9. We met at 9. I was there about 10 minutes early, and there was maybe 4 or 5 tables being used, was all. So I took a booth thinking we could make the booth work. And
by the way, this was at Legends in Council Bluffs.
Legends breakfast spot. By the time we figured out the booth wasn't going to be big enough for us to put the camera up, the place was packed.
Full. It was very full. They were rushing around and making sure that everybody was taken care of and was getting the service that they needed. And so this is what we came back with. Now, as we're recording this, it's a Friday. Yeah. Their daily special on Friday is chicken fried steak and eggs, and it seems like I'm up there on Fridays more times than any time. Yeah. So that's what I got. What did you get?
I just get the McDunkin' sandwich. It's kind of a staple that I usually get, and then I got a quarter hash brown, which you got to get the hash browns when you go to Legends, with some shredded cheese on there. Double the meat, ham and bacon on a English muffin.
That's the way to go with that. And then this monstrosity that we picked up, this was an impulse buy. Now, we talked about getting a cinnamon roll because Legends is known for their huge cinnamon rolls. But a gentleman that was there, we saw this plate go by that had all of this strawberry on it. And so we asked them what that was, and they said, oh, that's just a strawberry cinnamon roll. I said, all right, sold. We're getting one of those too. And
that thing is ginormous, but it looks really good.
Now, what I can also tell you is that being to go, they gave us the components to be able to put it together. And I think they may have gave us more than the ordinarily amount of frosting that went on it.
I don't think you can have too much frosting.
Well, we're going to test that theory because I put it all on there and I thought it disappeared. I can no longer see a cinnamon roll. Put the graham cracker crumb topping on it, and then the strawberries after that. So that is what we came up with, and we decided to come back to the studio since we just could not get a camera angle to work there.
Not with the size because of the table. People that are familiar with Legends know they have what's those tables seat 8 in the middle
I think
there.
so, yeah.
And 2 people might sit on one end. you might have another
Right.
3 or 4 come in, and they're sitting on the other end of that table, kind of community
Yes.
style, you know.
And
and
it
was
got
full.
so
It was
full
full.
that sitting over there was no longer an option, because when we take the camera in, it has to be a certain distance away,
Yeah.
and we just couldn't make it work in the booth. The booth is great for sitting down for just you and I if we were just having breakfast, but since we were doing this, it was a little more.
We did have a cup of coffee. I was looking forward to say this was our first morning coffee on morning coffee
on morning coffee,
but we didn't get that opportunity. So
no, we had the coffee while we were there. Brought in some other drinks just to make sure that we have the caffeine. So, well, let's find out just how good this. I'm going to need one of these knives here. So, looks like you've got forks and stuff.
Yep.
And so mine is like I said, the chicken fried steak and eggs. Typically, I'm an over easy kind of guy with eggs, but when you get it to go, it's just a lot better to get them scrambled, so that's the direction I went. All right, here we go.
I'm going hash brown here.
They're still good. This came out, I mean, we had to walk. We walked back to the studio from Legends, sat down, got everything going. This is still, I would recommend this even after having sat for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's how good this is.
Hash browns are still warm.
Yeah, it's just very good. And that looks like, I think I got out ordered. That looks like a sandwich right there. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beats the fast food breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah, we'll just
All
leave it
water,
at that.
yeah.
Places with drive-throughs cannot touch the local restaurants that we have. So very grateful for the folks putting that together. And they pivoted on us quickly. We said, hey, can we get this to go? Sure, no problem. And took care of that for us to be able to get back there. So big thanks to the staff over at Duncan's for being able to do that. So, all right. Well,
should we eat and then should we come back?
I think so. Because people don't want to watch us eat all of this food. It's going to take a while. So we're going to pause, be right back. And in the magic of editing, here we go. We were successful in finishing up the first and second course of breakfast from Legends Cafe in Council Bluffs. And now this is interesting. This is the world's largest pastry. This is.
I hope you don't have any more interviews in here today, because
it's going to take.
We're going to have a cleaning lady come in and clean up after us.
I think you're right. All right, sir. Well, shall we dive into this thing and see what we can do? I might need a knife just to get all the way through this thing. All right. Excellent. All right, so it needs strawberry, it needs frosting, it needs, my mouth is not quite that big, so.
No. All right. Well, cheers.
Do a cooking show, they said. All right, are you ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Yeah, that works.
I mean, like you said, we brought it home, or brought it here.
Right.
You can take it home, warm it up, throw this stuff on. It sat for
20 minutes? 20 minutes?
20 minutes. And
still,
it
is really, really good.
Still warm in the middle there.
Yeah, definitely. This is, man, that's good. So this is Legends Cafe. We should probably talk a little bit about what's going on and things to pay attention to as we get into spring.
Well,
when it comes to
fall, spring,
right? Fall, spring. That's a good point.
Yeah, 70 degrees one day and snow the next. Right? That was fun. That was fun. No, so what comes with that? What do you think comes with that? I've started to see them out on the roadways as potholes.
Yeah, and as you the water finds a crack, if there's a crack in the concrete or in the asphalt, it's going to find it, goes in. And then as it gets cold, it freezes and expands and pop, out it comes.
Yep. And I mean, I have a neighbor that worked for the city forever, and it's a difficult, there's time windows to get these potholes filled. It's inevitable. We're going to hit them, right?
Yeah.
My wife had a low profile tire car several years ago, and that thing would bend rims.
Wow.
And not really hit any big potholes. Tires we had all kinds of issues with low profile tires, but from an insurance standpoint, we never filed any claims. it is an option. You can. Typically, if you have comp and collision, you're colliding with a pothole.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So typically that can be covered. Where you run into is it worth it or not to file a claim? Is really the conversation you need to have with your insurance agent. A tire frame is probably $500 to $1,000. That's what a lot of people's deductibles are. So the main point is have an insurance agent that you can trust to have a conversation with. Not say, I want to file a claim. Say, I'm thinking about filing a claim. And talk about it with your agent.
Let's find out what makes the most sense.
Yep. Another thing you can do, and I don't think it's worth the time. I've read is you can try and go back on the city or the county, and it's just it's a process that's typically not worth it.
Right.
Is what I found. So really, if it's something you have a low deductible, it's something that can be covered if you have collision coverage. If you have liability coverage, it's not covered. So,
well, I would imagine too that as this happens, and in every spring we get thaws, we get freezes, we get more snow, back and forth it goes, and then you have a warm day, and there might still be some snow over the top of a pothole, but it's warmer and it's slushy. Yep. You don't even see it, and you can hit that thing.
Yep. And one more quick thing I thought about when the weather warmed up that always enters my insurance brain mind is motorcycle riders. One, being cautious of them being out there. But I've had conversations with my insureds. It's the winter months. Take insurance off my motorcycle. And I'm not. It's in storage. I'm not driving it. Yes, we can do that. But then I don't ever recommend it because you get one nice day in February.
Right.
And you jump on it. Oh, did I call my agent and get insurance going back on my? So, if you got insurance on it, keep it on it. It's just going to be less headache if something ever happens. But yeah, this nice weather, it even today, as we're sitting here on Friday, it's warmed back up from that little cold spell we hit. And
we will hear motorcycles today. That will happen.
Yeah. Yep.
Because motorcycle enthusiasts are always looking for an opportunity to ride. And
same with golfers.
That's true. We've had enough warm days where the streets and the roads are now clean and dry. Yep. So it's safe for them to be out, but it's still, we need to look out for them.
Correct. Yep. Always should be looking out for them. Especially with where my office is in Crescent, Old Lincoln Highway is a nice ride for motorcycle riders. So. I'm always on the lookout for them, and they're always, like I said, they were probably out yesterday riding on it. It was probably nice enough for some of those diehard motorcycle riders.
So good tips for the motorcycle owners, and also good tips for us who are just sharing the road with them. Keep an eye out. If it's a warmer day, chances are they're going to be out there. Yep. Not all of them have a really loud muffler. So
no. And there's one more thing with these fall springs that I want to touch base on, and I had an issue with a claim on it a few years ago. You hook your spigot, and we talked about this winter. You hook your hose up. Okay, there's still a chance that it could get cold enough stretch to freeze, and then when it thaws again, then you got water in your basement probably. So
don't put the hoses on yet.
Don't put the hoses on yet. There's no need to put the hoses on yet. We were washing your car or something, but if you do, take it off. Don't leave it on there quite yet.
I'm trying to remember who it was that I saw. It might have been Pot Conservation talking about it, that, you get a nice day in February or early March, and you want to get out and do yard work, and you want to clean things up. Their recommendation is don't. Yeah. Don't do that yet, because the ground is not ready to be exposed, because we haven't really reached spring.
No, these trees are confused, I guarantee you.
So are the birds as well. Well, Bryce Taylor, GLI Insurance Group, thank you once again. Legends Cafe in Council Bluffs. Stop in, and they're only open for breakfast and lunch. And on Tuesdays, I think it's just breakfast.
Yep. So you said you tried to stop in.
I didn't realize that they're usually open till 1. Yep. Stopped in there about 11:30, and nope, they weren't open on Tuesday. Yeah. Because they shut down at 11. But
oh yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have a few more bites.
Oh,
of
yeah, we're
this
not done
before
yet.
we get out of here. But what else is going on? The sports shows.
yeah,
taking
sports
off?
show.
Yeah.
The sports show has launched.
Yep.
So, boy, that was just so fun sitting in the recording with Craig Carlson
Yeah.
and watching that man work.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he hasn't done it since 2012. That was when CBTV 17
Was
shut
that
down.
through Iowa Western?
I think for a while it was, but he just jumped back on that bike and took off.
Yeah.
And so many different things about how he did things, and watching him work to me was very, very impressive. And I'm looking forward to a very, very successful show, because we don't have anything like that around here.
No.
You know, oftentimes the news about the local sports, whether it's the high schools or the college, it might get a mention here and there,
Yeah.
but there's nobody here that covers it extensively. And we need to be able to do that.
If I can just be brutally honest, and people might not, I mean, it ain't really going to, most people are going to agree with me. Non-Parel's frustrating. It's frustrating to, one, pay them. I mean, I think both my wife and I have agreed to sign up, and we never have access. So then we quit paying, you know. It's what you got going on is it should be free. The stuff that we're giving out.
Right.
A grandparent shouldn't have to pay to read an article about their grandkid and how many points he scored in a basketball game.
Not in today's day and age.
An interview.
Yeah.
You know, that should be free. That should be free. And there's ways to, obviously, you've learned, gain revenue by giving a product for free to the consumer, through advertising. And
exactly, and that's what we want to be able to do. And it was when Kyle and I first started talking about what we're going to do with the new entity, Local Stream Media, we both agreed right away. And I think he actually said it to me before I said it to him, but we were on the same page. We're not putting anything behind a paywall.
Yeah.
We're not going to require a subscription to gain access to the content. That is not what we do. And
that wouldn't work. I don't think that structure would work. I don't necessarily.
Well, and I also want to stress too that for those of you working for the Non-Parel, listen, we're not talking about you.
No.
You guys are
it's
out there.
Corporate.
Yeah, you're doing everything that
correct,
you can with
Austin
extremely
is great.
limited resources.
Austin is at as many local basketball games. I mean, he does great covering the local sports, but it's not his decision.
Well, and plus it's just him.
Yeah.
We have a lot going on here.
Yep.
So that's why a weekly highlight show with coaches interviews and player of the week and everything else that we're doing with the sports show. Council Bluffs Sports Weekly, by by the way.
Yeah.
That's the name of the show.
So if we're a little behind the weeds, you did record.
Yeah.
And it airs
Fridays.
Okay.
Comes out on Fridays.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And that may get adjusted as we move forward. Obviously, right now, there was a lot of lead-in work, such as creating an open and close for the show that doesn't have to be done every week. So it's going to be faster. Our goal is to be able to record one day and release the next day. That's our goal. But there's a process to being able to do that.
People don't understand the editing side of things.
It takes a while.
I mean, some people do probably, but I've kind of grown up now to where the stuff I watch is on YouTube, and like a lot of the stuff in my free time I watch, YouTube golf stuff.
Yeah.
It might take them 2 weeks. They might go golf a golf course, and it takes them 2 weeks to edit it and get it ready to go online. So, getting stuff down in a day, I mean, it's not like you're sitting around twiddling your thumbs.
No,
you're getting after it. Yeah,
we actually have an editor that works overnight, and there's a lot of different moving pieces to this. And also, listen, it's not. As we release today is not what it will be in a few months or in a few years. It will continue to progress, and it will continue to get better and better. I like to use the example of a late night talk show when it first started. Back when Letterman first started or Conan O'Brien first started, it was a really minimalistic set.
Yeah.
And then as they continued, it expanded and continued to grow. We're in the same boat right
Yep.
now. We have a set. We
Mhm.
don't have a lot of stuff on it
Yeah.
because we are looking for Council Bluffs sports memorabilia.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. We want to borrow it. We don't want to keep it.
No.
We just want to say, hey, this came from, and we let folks know who it came from.
Yep.
And this is what this means. We've got a ton of history
Yeah.
here in town.
Yep.
And we want to be able to highlight that as well as celebrate the young people that are out there playing right now.
The timing wise of the sports, your new show, did it coincide any with the Hall of Fame stuff they put up at Iowa West? Did you go out to?
I wasn't able to make it
yeah.
that day, but we did have Brenda Mainwaring in talking
Yep.
about that from the
Yep.
Iowa West Foundation and celebrating our history and celebrating our accomplishments. It was the real key to that. And then these athletes that went before us can inspire those coming up now.
That are all
That's
those kids
the
that
point.
are playing in there.
That's
Yep.
the point. And this is something that I talked about with Craig because I'm on the first show to kind of give a highlight of what we're doing. And something I talked with him about was we don't know who that next star is going to be.
Yeah.
That young man or woman is out there right now, but we don't know.
Yep.
And I've learned I'm bad at recognizing them because, the story that I've told many times was I used to do play-by-play and I covered Kyle Korver when he was a sophomore in high school. The coaches were really high on him. I didn't see it. I thought he was a good player.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what he did
Yep.
and then what he went on to accomplish in the NBA, I didn't see it. I didn't see it coming. I wasn't like negative about it. It's just, okay, he's a good player, but I don't.
Yeah, there's a lot of the great high school players
Right,
that don't go on and have a college career, let alone an NBA career.
Right.
Yeah.
And he did a wonderful job of making that happen. And he had, when he played for Creighton, had a great supporting staff. Other players on that team I saw in high school.
Yep.
Michael Lindemann played on that team. And
Yep.
so I saw him. But this is why I'm not a coach.
Yeah.
Because there are much more qualified people than me out there to be able to recognize this. It's going to be fun as we continue on. This is not just a one and done kind of deal or, hey, we'll just run this for a few months. We have built something to last, and this is going to be a mainstay in Council Bluffs, and eventually we'll expand on to other areas too. We just need to start.
Yep. Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, got to start somewhere.
And, I'm glad that GLI Insurance Group decided to sponsor the sports show as well. So,
and because you are already a huge supporter of high school athletics and with Iowa Western too, people know that they see your face.
Yep.
You're
around. We're around. Yeah.
Yeah. You're at a lot of AL games and that kind of thing. So, you coming on just made sense.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we're thrilled to be able to do it.
I was excited when I was probably, you brought it up to me maybe 6-7 months ago when we first started talking about, maybe a little longer. So
this has
to
been
see
in the
it
works
get
for a while.
here has been pretty exciting, and we're glad to be a part of eating food and talking sports. So
perfect. I think we should. All right. Well, we're going to wrap things up because Bryce and I got a big giant cinnamon roll to eat, and we thank you very much for being a part of it, and thank you for supporting everything that we're doing here, and we're grateful to have you on as a partner as we move forward.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. I like where the direction is going, and Council Bluffs just needs to tell its story, So. Yeah.
All right, excellent. Well, until next time, we got to pick a new restaurant.
Maybe we'll do a poll again.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Let people decide.
We'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
Technology should be working for you, not against you. At ThinkSpace IT, they provide expert IT solutions to keep your business running smoothly and securely. From cybersecurity and cloud services to network management and tech support, they simplify IT so you can focus on what matters most. Stay protected, stay connected, stay ahead. Visit ThinkSpaceIT.com. And if you're looking for a laid-back spot with great food and even better company, it's the Mile Away in Council Bluffs. This family-run bar and grill is your go-to breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got unbeatable weekly specials and a welcoming atmosphere that feels like home. They're located on Old Lincoln Highway, just north of Council Bluffs, and follow them on Facebook for the latest events and specials. The Mile Away, where great food and great people come together. That's going to wrap up today's show. Thanks again, Bryce Taylor, for being a part of it and for being such a huge supporter of Council Bluffs and the surrounding area. And we also thank you for watching this episode of Morning Coffee. My name's Todd Studer. Back with you again tomorrow morning.